My Two Selves by Patricia Bosworth.
I was once a woman split in two. I was 18 when my boyfriend started beating me. I created another self that floated above me like a balloon with anything assaulted. Another self enabled me to survive. A therapist later told me what I'd done was to disassociate. This made it possible for me to cope with the abuse and to also keep the abuse and my coping outside my ordinary experience. The beating went on for close to 10 years. We had 2 children, and I lived in a trance-like state most of the time, refusing to believe, to admit to the violence that was part of my everyday life. Whenever the brutality or the pain became so huge, I'd escape into my other self. Then, one morning, as I was getting ready to go off to work, my boyfriend and I got into an argument. And I don't remember whether it was because the coffee wasn't hot enough or I'd forgotten to buy him a fresh pack of cigarettes. But suddenly, he threw me across the room and my head hit the kitchen wall so hard I saw stars and I could taste blood in my mouth. That was what finally knocked some fucking sense into my head, because a voice inside me, my other self, cried out, "You don't have to take this anymore. It's not your fault. You don't deserve this." My other self grabbed a heavy frying pan off the stove and bashed my boyfriend's face with it. The blow stunned him. He fell on the floor. I picked up my pocketbook and I swept my 2 kids into my arms. The youngest was only 4 months. I went out the door and down the street and never looked back. I left everything, clothes, books, furniture, TV. I knew if I stayed, the violence would start all over again, and I was sick of it. The next thing I knew, I was getting off a Greyhound bus in Newark, New Jersey. For a while, I lived in a shelter with my kids. I worked at a McDonald's, and I joined a battered women's group. In that group, we told our stories over and over to one another. We had to dredge up the awful images to make the memories come alive for us. The memories were terrible, and our stories were all similar, and we stopped feeling so alone. I look at that group as a turning point in my life. I'll never forget the shock of recognition when I realized the strength I saw in those other women who had endured so much was also in me. Today, I no longer rely on that other self that floated above my head like a balloon. It sort of merged with the whole me. I have few illusions, and I do have hope. I feel fuller and more alive. Are you surprised?
The Massacre by Marie Howe.
It happens. Like anything else, in time. Someone hides in the bushes. Someone watches from the rooftops. The men play with the sobbing women, tearing their dresses. Where is the kingdom of heaven? Within that woman pushed from man to man, within each of the 3 or 4 men. Last night, while watching my daughter sleep, I felt my own will and power rise for no reason within me. Killing might stop time, I thought. To be death and not, in that moment, to fear it It moved through me like a hot, clear cold, and in an instant, I knew myself, shouting in the careening trucks with the rest of them, and what, in my exhilaration, I had become.
My short skirt.
My short skirt is not an invitation, a provocation, or an indication that I want it, or that I give it, or that I hook. My short skirt is not begging for it. It does not want you to rip it off me or pull it down. My short skirt is not a legal reason for raping me. Although it has been before, it will not hold up in court, not even his court. My short skirt is about discovering the power of my lower calves, about cool autumn air traveling up my inner thighs, about allowing everything I feel or see or pass to live inside. My short skirt is not proof that I am stupid or undecided or a malleable little girl. My short skirt is my defiance. This is who I am before you made me cover it up or tone it down. Get used to it. My short skirt is happiness. I can feel myself on the ground. I am here. I am hot. My short skirt is a liberation flag in the women's army. I declare these streets, any streets, my vagina's country. My short skirt is turquoise water with swimming colored fish, a summer festival in the starry dark, a train arriving in a foreign town. My short skirt is a wild spin, a full breath, a tango dip. My short skirt is initiation, appreciation, excitation, but mainly my short skirt and everything under it is mine, mine, mine.
Celia by Edwige Danticat. Celia is inspired by a true story. Celia, an immigrant from Guatemala, is crossing the U.S. border in an airless container. She wakes up on the floor of the container, surrounded by a group of women who appear to be sleeping, but might be dead. They are victims of human smuggling. Celia looks around and lets her eyes adjust to the semi-darkness. Her breathing is labored.
No puedo respirar. I can't breathe. My asthma is acting up and I can't breathe. Dios mío, we're still not in Brownsville. That's where the coyotes told us we'd end up if we got into this thing, this big coffin, this container. They told us they'd help us cross the border. They said they'd find us a place with no migra, no vigilantes. But bless us, Madre de Dios. Mother of God, you're so hot. I'm sweating like a cerdo, and I can't breathe. Everyone is lying so still. Are they sleeping? Or are they dead? Flaca, mira, levántense. Wake up. Everybody wake up. Todos despierta. They won't wake up. We come from the same village, Flaca, Mira, and my husband Julio. I was 17 years old when Julio and I married. He was a soldier, 12 years my senior. We'd known each other only a short time, but societal pressures, the average age of marriage is 15 in my province, encouraged the union. The military in Guatemala is very powerful. A soldier can kill you on the spot if you do anything wrong, and even if you don't. Julio came home from work drunk every night because he was trying to forget the bad things he'd done to people, burning down houses with people inside, tossing babies in the air and shooting at them. When he was so drunk, he didn't even know himself. He would beat me. Sometimes he'd beat me until I lost consciousness, all the while telling me that he was only treating me the same way he was treated in the army. What they demand of me, I demand of you, I said. He beat me like this through the birth of our son. When I was 4 months pregnant, he kicked me in the stomach and tried to make me have a miscarriage. Just so hot in here. After our son was born, he kept on beating me. He once hit my face so hard, he dislocated my jaw. At times, he'd drag me down the street by my hair, hitting my head on a car, a window, or whatever was nearby. He'd pistol whip me, kick me with his boots. But since he was a soldier and carried a gun, no one could intervene, not even my own relatives. Every time I filed a complaint with the police, they sent me home, saying they couldn't intervene in family matters. I escaped and moved to another part of town, but he found me and beat me and said that he and his friends would kill my mother and my son if I didn't go back to him. Then he started beating me again. I tried to commit suicide by taking a handful of pills, but they only made me sluggish, so I had to flush them out of my system with water. When he found out, he laughed. He said I could die if I wanted to, but I wasn't going to leave him any other way. So one day, when my son was with my mother and Julio was at work, I got onto a bus with Flaca and Mira, who were headed to Mexico. Then we got into this container, this car on wheels, headed for Brownsville. Dios mío, it was so hot. Sometimes when Julio was beating me, I used to feel like I was so hot. So hot I thought I'd stop breathing. I told myself, I have to go someplace where I'll be able to breathe, where I can send for my mother and my son, and we will finally be able to breathe freely. But now, it's so hot. Flac, me, despierta por favor, wake up. Ayúdame, help me. Stop, can anyone hear? I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
My vagina is angry. It is pissed off. My vagina is furious and it needs to talk. It needs to talk about all this shit. It needs to talk to you. I mean, what's the deal? An army of people out there thinking of ways to torture my poor ass, gentle, loving vagina? Spending their days constructing psycho products and nasty ideas to undermine my pussy? Vagina motherfuckers. All this shit they're constantly trying to shove up us, clean us up, stuff us up, make it go away. Well, my vagina's not going away. It's pissed off and it's staying right here. Like tampons. What the hell is that? A wad of dry fucking cotton stuffed up there? Why can't they find a way to subtly lubricate the tampon? As soon as my vagina sees it, it goes into shock. It says, forget it. It closes up. You need to work with the vagina. Introduce it to things. Prepare the way. That's what foreplay is all about. You've got to convince my vagina, seduce my vagina, engage my vagina's trust. You can't do that with a dry wad of fucking cotton. Stop shoving things up me, stop shoving and stop cleaning it up. My vagina doesn't need to be cleaned up. It smells good already. Don't try to decorate. Don't believe him when he tells you it smells like rose petals when it's supposed to smell like pussy. That's what they're doing, trying to clean it up, make it smell like a bathroom spray or a garden. All those douche sprays. Floral, berry, rain. I don't want my pussy to smell like rain. Like all cleaned up like washing a fish after you cooked it. I want to taste the fish. That's why I ordered it. Then there's those exams. Who thought them up? There's got to be a better way to do those exams. Why the scary paper dress that scratches your tits and crinkles when you lie down so you feel like a wad of paper someone threw away? Why the rubber gloves? Why the flashlight all up there like Nancy Drew working against gravity? Why the Nazi steel stirrups? The mean, cold duck lips they shove inside you. What's that? My vagina is angry about those visits. It gets defended weeks in advance. It won't go out of the house. And then you get there. Don't you hate that? Scoot down. Relax your vagina. Why? So you can shove mean, cold duck lips inside it? I don't think so. Why can't they find some nice, delicious purple velvet and wrap it around me? Lay me down on some feathery cotton spread, put on some nice friendly pink or blue gloves, and rest my feet in some fur-covered stirrups. Warm up the duck lips. Work with my vagina. But no, more tortures, dry wad of fucking cotton, cold duck lips, and thong underwear. That's the worst. Thong underwear? Who thought that up? Moves around all the time, gets stuck in the back of your crusty butt. Vagina's supposed to be loose and wide, not held together. That's why girdles are so bad. We need to move and spread and talk and talk. Vaginas need comfort. Make something like that. Something to give them pleasure. No, of course they won't do that. Hate to see a woman having pleasure, particularly sexual pleasure. I mean, make a nice pair of soft cotton underwear with a French tickler built in. Women would be coming all day long. Coming in the supermarket, coming on the subway, coming happy vaginas. They wouldn't be able to stand it, seeing all those energized, not taking shit, hot, happy vaginas. If my vagina could talk, it would talk about itself like me. It would talk about other vaginas. It would do vagina impressions. It would wear Harry Winston diamonds, no clothing, just there all draped in diamonds. My vagina helped release a giant baby. It thought it would be doing more of that. It's not. Now it wants to travel, doesn't want a lot of company. It wants to read and know things and get out more. It wants sex. It loves sex. It wants to go deeper. It's hungry for depth. It wants kindness. It wants change. It wants silence and freedom and gentle kisses and warm liquids and deep touch. It wants chocolate. It wants to scream. It wants to stop being angry. It wants to come. It wants to want. It wants. My vagina, well, it wants everything.
My vagina was my village. This piece is for the women of Bosnia.
My vagina was green, water soft, pink fields, cow mooing streams, boyfriend touching sweet, light, soft pieces of strawberry blonde straw. There's nothing between my legs. I do not know what it is. I do not know where it is. I do not touch, not now, not anymore, not since. My vagina was chatty. Can't say much, can't stop saying words, can't stop saying, oh yes, oh yes. Not since I dreamed that there was a dead animal sewn in down there with thick black fishing line and a dead animal smell that cannot be removed. Its throat was slit. It bleeds through all of my summer dresses. My vagina sang all girl songs, all goat bell ringing songs, all wild autumn field songs, vagina songs. They sung vagina home songs. Not since the soldiers put long, thick rifles inside of me. So cold, the steel rod canceling my heart. I do not know whether they were going to fire it or shove it through my spinning brain. 6 of them, monstrous doctors with black masks shoving bottles into me, and they were sticks and ends of brooms. My vagina was swimming river water, clean, spilling water over stones, over sun-baked stones, over and over. Not since I heard the skin tear and made a little screeching sound. A piece of my vagina came off in my hand, a part of the lip. Now one side is completely gone. My vagina, a live wet water village. My vagina, my hometown. Not since they took turns for 7 days smelling like feces and smoked meat. They left their dirty sperm inside of me. I became a river of poison and pus, and all the crops died, the cows and the fish. My vagina, a live wet water village. They invaded it. They butchered it and burned it down. I do not touch now. I do not visit. I live someplace else now. I don't know where that is.
The woman who loved to make vaginas happy.
I love vaginas. I love women. I do not see them as separate things. Women pay me to dominate them, to excite them, to make them come. I did not start out like this. No, to the contrary, I started out as a lawyer. But in my late 30s, I became obsessed with making women happy. It began as a mission of sorts, but then I got involved in it. I got really good at it, kind of brilliant. It was my art. It was as if I had found my calling. I wore outrageous outfits when I dominated women, lace and silk and leather, and I used props. I love props. Whips and handcuffs and rope and dildos. There was nothing like this in tax law. There were no props, no excitement, and I hated those blue corporate suits. Although I wear them now from time to time in my new line of work, and they do serve quite nicely. There were no props in corporate law, no wetness, no dark, mysterious foreplay, no erect nipples, no delicious mouths, but mainly there was no moaning. Not the kind I'm talking about anyway. This was the key. I see it now. Moaning was the thing that ultimately seduced me and got me addicted to making women happy. When I was a little girl, I would see women in the movies making strange, orgasmic moaning noises, and I used to laugh. I got strangely hysterical. I couldn't believe that big, outrageous, ungoverned sounds like that came out of women. I longed to moan. I practiced in front of my mirror on a tape recorder in various keys and various tones. But always when I played it back, it sounded fake. It was fake. It wasn't rooted in anything sexual, really, only in my desire to be sexual. But then, when I was 10, I had to pee really badly once on a car trip. It went on for almost an hour. And when I finally finally got to pee in this dirty little gas station, I moaned. I moaned as I peed. Oh, God. I couldn't believe it. Me moaning in a Texaco station in the middle of Louisiana. I realized right then and there that moans are connected with not getting what you want right away, with putting things off. I realized moans were best when they caught you by surprise, when they came out of this hidden, mysterious part of you that was speaking its own language. I realized that moans were, in fact, that language. I became a moaner. It made most men anxious, and frankly, it terrified them. I was loud, and they couldn't concentrate on what they were doing. They'd lose focus, then they'd lose everything. We couldn't make love in people's homes. The walls were too thin. I got a reputation in my building, and people stared at me with contempt in the elevator. Men thought I was too intense. Some called me insane. I began to feel bad about my moaning. I got quiet and polite. I made noise into a pillow. I learned to choke my moan, hold it in like a sneeze. I began to get headaches and stress-related disorders. I was becoming hopeless when I discovered women. I discovered that most women loved my moaning. But more importantly, I discovered how deeply excited I got when other women moaned, when I was responsible for other women moaning. I made love to quiet women, and I found a place deep inside them, and they shocked themselves with their moaning. I made love to moaners, and they found a deeper, more penetrating moan. It was a kind of surgery, a kind of delicate science, finding the tempo, the exact location, or the home of the moan. That's what I called it. Sometimes I found it over a woman's jeans. Sometimes I snuck up on it, off the record, quietly disarming the surrounding alarms and moving in. Sometimes I used force, but not violent, oppressive force. More like dominating. I'm gonna take you someplace, don't worry, lay back and enjoy the ride kind of force. Sometimes it was simply mundane. I found the moan before things even got started. While we were eating chicken or salad, just casual right there with my fingers, like here it is like that, real simple, all mixed in with the balsamic vinegar. Sometimes I used props. I love props. Sometimes I made the woman find her own moan in front of me. I waited, I stuck it out until she opened herself. I wasn't fooled by the minor, more obvious moans. No, I pushed her further, all the way into her power moan. There's the clit moan. Ah, 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 ah. There's the vaginal moan. Oh. There's the combo clit vaginal moan. Ah, ah, ah. There's the almost moan. There's the right on it moan. Oh yeah! There's the elegant moan. There's the wasp moan. There's the Jewish moan. No, 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 no. Oh, I say. There's an African American moan. Oh, shit! Now you know where I got stairs in my elevator. The Irish Catholic moan.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Father, forgive me.
The doggy moan. The uninhibited militant bisexual moan. the machine gun moan, the tortured Zen moan, the diva moan, the college moan,
I should be studying, I should be studying.
and finally the surprise triple orgasm moan. Oh, yeah, oh God, yeah. Oh yeah, let's do it again, yes. Oh my God, yes, yes.
Oh, okay, wait, one more time, but quickly, my show's about to come on.
Okay, one more time then. Oh, yes, say my name, say my
To stop the violence against women.
Woman, to stop the violence against woman, woman must stop the violence against herself. We can begin to do this now that we can see the sky and not a rock, a stick, or a fist above all our heads. Woman, to stop the violence against woman, stop the violence that you perpetuate against your own sister, who is a woman, your own daughter, who is a woman, your own daughter-in-law, who is a woman, your own mother, who is a woman. Woman, to stop the violence against woman, stop the violence that lives in opposition to your life, deep in your own terrorized and uncherished heart. Woman, remember who we are, not guys, but the mother of all living. We create out of our own blood and milk the creatures who oppress us, whether they are men or ourselves. Woman, awake. Arise. Stand up. Woman, to stop the violence against woman, get up on your perfectly unbound feet. We have lost the earth living on our knees.
Okay, that concludes our show for tonight. On behalf of this cast and crew, I'd like to thank you for joining us to support Voices of Hope. And I would like to thank this amazing cast and crew because they have volunteered months of their time to give voice to these amazing words. A couple shout outs. I'd like to thank Madeline and Natasha for being the assistant directors. Jim for being the voice of God. And tormenting me for so long. And Amy, who deserves so much praise. She got the theater, she got, where are you? Oh, she's right there. She got the printing, she did so many things, and I don't think we could have done it without her. So anyway, that's all I can think of. So thank you for coming out to support us and supporting Voices of Hope. And